Hey, I'm uploading this video. This might be the last one for a while because I've realized now that they're trying to make me, which I've realized for a while now, but they really want me to be, it's almost like they want me to be their targeted individual spokesman. And I feel like they want me to just post anything that I can now. And I know they don't want me to record them and put them on YouTube and shit, but it's almost in a way sometimes like they do, so they can just see how more they can slander me and use that against me. So um, also just the fact that I don't know, sick of trying to feel like I'm giving them power by doing that in a way too. Um, but Yeah, so I pretty much it's like all come full circle now. I get it. I get it. The people involved in gang stalking are 100% criminals. I got legal immigrants living next to me and across from me. Not that I have a problem. I don't give a shit about legal. I don't care if you're here legally or illegally. But don't come here and try to fucking try to bring some shit onto me and try to slander me and try to like turn me against other people and smear me when you're not even here legally. That's my problem. Like, at least be a legal citizen if you're gonna fucking try to slander me. And then you got a pedophile living across from me, and he's doing it. So it's just more confirmed. I mean, how much more do you want proof? And then the fact that of the matter is they're living across from me. So it's not just like it's like I said that people follow me everywhere on foot and driving, and where I shop, everything. But to have them live across from me, I mean, that's another thing. So, yeah, I'm not going to be your like little vessel here to try to like use me to kind of like put your videos, because I think that's what they're doing now. It's like they want me to almost like advertise, So, but I really don't think there's some things that they want to advertise. Like, I don't think my neighbor wanted me to record him the other day, but he obviously wanted me to get some. He wanted to get some kind of reaction out of me, you don't just come home and then you just turn around and you see a plastic bag when in your driveway when every time you come home there's always something laying there and there's always shit moved around, and you come in your house and shit looks like it's been moved around, and shit on your back porch and cigarette butts and all kinds of shit. And so you want to use a little gay bitch ass way to try to like lure me into a trap. It's a, you know what I mean? So it's like, so that was his way of like me turning around, picking the bag up, and me seeing him standing there. That was his way of trying to provoke a fight. And he still stood there, like I said, even when I waved several times. So that's his proof. And, he's, that's just like his tactic now, wanting to kind of stare. Like even the night I was bringing my trash to the road and he was standing there looking at me in his window. So that's the thing now, they know they can't do anything but like try to do these like little subtle threats, staring at you, doing all these things, trying to lure you into a fight onto his property. What's funny is like the last time, not the last, the second to last time my place was had a break-in, I walked over onto his lawn, and he's like, well, if you really want to come over here and do something about it, you can come over here and do something about it. Well, I mean, I did walk over your lawn last time, so I guess if you really wanted to fight me then you could have, but you didn't, you fucking pussy. So I mean, like, I'm just sick of them trying to use all these like little things. I'm just it's getting to the point where it's like almost like they want me to see, if they really want me to see like what I'll do, how dangerous I can be. You know what I mean? Not that I would be, but they want to try to push me to that point to see how dangerous I could be. But anyway, I've just been thinking a lot about this shit, and thinking about just everything that's involved and all the high-tech aspects of it, like I mentioned not too long ago. I mean, there's all this shit about now with Neuralink, and AI is out of control. They're getting more out of hand with shit. It's almost coming to like Terminator level now, like where you think like, when are they going to fucking start turning into Hal from 2001: Space Odyssey? No, Dave, I can't do that, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't turn your AC up, Dave. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't launch those missiles, they're going to launch them at you. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, it's kind of like coming to that point. And there's also something else too that I've been thinking about. Well, I've heard about this story for a while, but I read upon it and more. And there's several videos on YouTube, but there's not that many of them. There's this woman I was reading about 3 years ago who was in 2019, 4 years, almost 4 years, 3.5 years. It was in October 2019. She was from Utah, and she was going on a business trip to Silicon Valley in San Jose, California is where she was, and she was out there for a business trip. And then while she was out there, she went to meet with someone who was part of this meeting. And it was, part of the Silicon Valley tech, guru person. Apparently she went over to his house and met with him. And then when she left, and by the way, this woman has no mental illness history, no drug history, nothing. And anyway, she called her parents after she met with this guy, and then she's never known to freak out or act crazy, and she was very, had a good job, and her job, whatever it was a big high-level job, and then all of a sudden she calls her parents, and they said that she was saying, none of this is real. We're in the Matrix. This is all simulation. It's a thought experiment. Nothing is real. And then 2 days later, she was found dead in her car somewhere in San Jose. I believe it was in San Jose. Yeah, it was at a park somewhere. And they did an autopsy, and no drugs were in her system. There was no foul play, no heart attack. There was nothing. It was almost just like she just died, and it was nothing, no reason. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's really weird. I've been thinking about it, and the possibilities crossed my mind that we could be living in a simulation, but I just don't 100% believe that. I mean, it could be true, but what I think is that she found out about all this shit that goes involved with like the shit I've been talking about, and how high the AI has gotten now, and how they're able to control so much, and it's almost like they control people now in a way. I mean, for 3 years now, it's like every time, no matter where I live, I mean, I open my door, as soon as I do, I mean, and I don't live in busy places, and all of a sudden, I see somebody walking right there. As soon as I leave, there's a car coming right there. There's always someone at this certain point, and I'm just thinking to myself, even with all this technology they have, even with all the technology I described, how are they even able to make that all happen every time at that point, like all the time? How are they able to get it right all of the time? And to make it where it's like every time you open the blind, there's someone there. Every time you turn a corner, there's someone there. Every time you go somewhere where you don't even know that you were going to go there a minute ago, but it just pops in your head, hey, I'm going there, and then all of a sudden they're there. Like, even with all that technology, that's what sometimes makes me think this could be a simulation, because even with all that technology that they have, B2K and all this shit, all these electronic weapons and all the mind reading technology and whatever else they have, sometimes it doesn't make sense how they're able to get all the synchronicity so right all the time. So that sometimes makes me wonder, what if we are? I mean, whether it's like we're hooked up to some kind of like machine like in the Matrix, or aliens have got taken over our bodies, and we're now like living, like almost like in a coma, and we're plugged into something, one of their machines. If we are in a simulation, this is my theory. I don't think I have always been in one. I believe at some point something happened, whether it was AI got real advanced and they took over, aliens did maybe, or just all in general. I think technology got to a point to it could have been to the point, for me anyway, when things started to get really weird and I started noticing things just kind of feel like the world took a turn, was 2015. So I'm just saying, what if everything before 2015 was real, but what if now everything 2015 after is like the real world is some kind of post-apocalyptic kind of like future, you know what I mean? Like in the Matrix or something, you know, and we're all like hooked up to a machine, and that old world's gone. And the world we live in now is present day, but it's present day and it doesn't look like this. And we're all like, you know, some way we're along the line, you know. For me, I say 2015, maybe we got, you know, abducted, or that's when the AI took over and did all that. That's if we're in a simulation. That's if I think we are in a simulation, which I don't. But I'm just saying if we did, I think that would be the best case scenario. But what I think she was talking about is the fact that everything that I've described, you know how I told in another video earlier, they can see through my eyes, how they have the technology to see through your eyes, and how they have the technology now to pretty much, if they implant the right kind of stuff in you, whether it's putting in your food or you have surgery, it's almost like they control you. What I think is there's these like hidden underworld, like just hidden facilities where people, all these tech savvy people, and you know, in Silicon Valley, I mean that's the nature of all evil right there. But not just Silicon, but everywhere across the country, I think there's like little like houses, like kind of like cabin in the woods kind of thing, you know, where they're all just sitting there and they're programming all humans and they're controlling them in their little secret facilities. And that's how they're making them turn here and turn there and make, you know, them see you when you're coming here, because they're controlling all these people. Not all of them, but maybe some of them, most of them. Could that be what that woman was talking about? That it just freaked her out knowing that humans are being controlled by other humans using AI, or possibly other aliens using AI, or just fucking, maybe the AI just got all out of hand now and it's got its mind of its own and it's just running the algorithm on its own now, like autopilot, and there's nothing the humans can do. I mean, that's what I think. I think she discovered that the AI pretty much has taken over all humans now, and we're not so much in a simulation like this body isn't real and our real selves are plugged into a machine somewhere, but no, like our real selves are here, but we're being controlled by all this AI now that's getting out of hand, and people are in their little facilities watching and monitoring us and controlling when we go here or there. I mean, I don't say that's 100%, but you know, I don't know. It's just getting really out of hand with the technology and this day and age. You know, I don't know. I mean, and there's another thing too that I was thinking about, and there was something that happened. I say this was about 2016. So this was kind of like at the beginning when shit started to kind of like, for me, targeting kind of started becoming noticeable in 2014, 15. And this was 2016. And so I was, at the time, I was at a bar, and I was sitting there and drinking, and all of a sudden this girl, she comes and sits next to me, and she just like, I mean, she looked like she's a little tipsy, but she's just like, you know, seems somewhat normal. And then I'm just sitting there all of a sudden out of the blue. I never get this. All of a sudden, I'm just sitting there and she goes, "I met you in an alternate world." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I met you in another world, in an alternate world, in a parallel world." I'm like, "Okay." And she pays for a drink and then she just gets up and leaves. And I never saw her again. And I always thought that was just some drunk woman, some idiot. She's just, you know, fucking with me. And I never thought really much of it until about 4 years later. And I'm just start thinking, like, what was that all about? I mean, I always thought about it. I'm like, could that have been real? I mean, what's she talking about? But then when the targeting started to get worse, I started thinking, what if there's something to that? And I just started thinking, like, all the technology they have now, and I don't know. I mean, what if there's some kind of way, if not this world, another world has built a portal, and they're able to come over here from other worlds, and they're here monitoring, people are here to monitor our counterparts from other worlds. I mean, maybe that our counterparts are some big deal in the other world, and they're coming here to study us and see how we're different or something, or maybe they're here to infiltrate this world and fuck it up and sabotage it as much as they can. Because, like I said, I mean, before 2015, things just seemed so much more normal, and it seemed like reality. And ever since 2015, it seems like we're not living in reality. It seems like we are in a dream, we're in a simulation, or I don't know. I mean, I just sometimes just wonder, you know. I mean, so that is another possibility. What if some of these people are travelers from other worlds, from parallel worlds, and they're trying to sabotage ours? And maybe that's why it's so like everything's so fucked up now, you know. These are just some theories. I mean, I know, you know, I used to think this kind of shit was crazy, but now this seems like the new normal, because it just seems like, you know, at the very least, the people that are doing this targeting want you to think, at least, that it is. They want you to think you're in a simulation, or they want you to think that. But I still think it's more than that. I really think it's possible now we could be in a simulation, or there's some kind of way that they're controlling this reality, and it's almost like they're controlling our reality like a video game. I don't know, but I think it's weird that that girl ended up dead in her car, and you know, they didn't find her find any kind of you know, causes of death on her autopsy report. Nothing. You know, not even drugs. They said the very closest of anything they said that she died for is because they think that she was bipolar. I think maybe, I can't remember if they said that she was at one point diagnosed with that, or I don't think they ever said she was, but they said that she was having a manic state based on her call to her parents, and that she died from being in a manic state, so from being bipolar basically. But no one's ever just died from being bipolar. You know, you don't just die from being a certain way. So there's something to that. You might want to look into it. Erin Valenti, ERIN Velenti or VALENTI, something like that. But it's Erin Valenti. Yeah. But yeah, I'm taking a break from uploading for a while because, you know, it's just I don't feel like I feel like it's getting kind of redundant now to keep uploading the same shit over and over. I mean, I will, but I'm just going to take a break for a while because, you know, like I said, it's just getting to be a little bit redundant, and I'm tired of feel like I'm beating a dead horse and doing the same thing over, and you know what I mean? So, but I'm still going to record again. I'm just going to stop for a little bit, but anyway, hope you found what I said useful, and maybe one day something can be done about all this kind of targeting, because it really is just so unconstitutional. You know, it's like something you see in a third world country. You know, it's not something that you should see here. People targeting people for different beliefs or different views, or because they stay in their house and don't go out all the time, or you know, they try to use everything. Oh, he's single. Why isn't he married? You know what I mean? Just shit like that. They try to use. It's just so stupid. Should be no reason for people to be targeted for some kind of stupid shit like that. You know, while they let real criminals that break the law every day, they give them carte blanche to just do this shit. You know.